back to G.I. Joe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Painted Plastic. Brandon here with episode 4 of the Cobra Shock and All build. But for this one, we're not going to do anything with the vehicle. I want this episode to focus on the driver. I always like to do the driver first because it kind of gives me a sort of a color palette when I move to painting the vehicle. So that's what we're going to do on this one. I've got a figure sort of put together just from parts from various other figures, and we're going to paint him up and kind of turn him into a new character. We're also going to get into the file card and sort of how I make the file card. I've got a program that I use and some templates, but we'll get into that later. All right, so let's head over to the bench and we will get started with our custom driver, Sidewinder. Be right back. All right, everybody, here is old Sidewinder. These are just a couple of pieces from my spares box, old figures, broken figures. Hobbled together this guy. If you don't recognize the pieces, version 1 Monkey Wrench is the head. Version 1 Dr. Mindbender are the arms. And the rest of the body is Stalker version 5. I think it's version 5. Pretty sure. Yeah, so just kind of put them together, and I think it looks pretty cool. So we're going to repaint him, kind of make him unique. I am going to keep the black jumpsuit. I think that'll be okay, but I want to change these greens and, yeah, do some other stuff. Paint his hair black. So the first thing we got to do is take him apart, which if you've never taken a G.I. Joe apart, it could not be easier. You do take the back screw out, and I've just got a little pot over here that I'm putting all the things in, and he will just disintegrate, right? Fall all apart. The waist comes off just like that. I put a new O-ring in when I built him originally, so that's a brand new O-ring. And then for the legs, same thing, you just got a screw. And the thigh will come apart. And the calf just pops off like that. I'm actually going to leave this together for painting, mainly because there are, where the paint lines come together, I want to make sure they're even. So keep those together for painting. Same thing on the torso. I'm going to end up putting that back together because these shoulders, I want the paint line to be even on both sides. So we'll just paint those together. All right. I've got some sticks over here to the side. We're just going to get him all pieced together. I think we'll start with the head. Get that sort of done up. All right, now that's all out of the way. Oh, I've just got a tree over here for all these parts. All right, gonna do some black on the head. I want to paint his hair and beard black. The sunglasses may stay silver. I haven't decided yet. They may change colors later. For the black, I'm just gonna use flat black. All right. And, ooh, I am out of that too. Wow. Well, maybe we got enough to do the head. We'll try. Just got a kind of medium-sized brush. Oh, my bristles are all wonky. And a little X20A and a palette, of course. So I'm just going to dump out a little X20A on the palette. You guys have seen me do this before. And go in for some paint and a little thinner. The thinner is just to make it sort of flow. I don't want thin paint, but I do want it a little thinner than it is out of the bottle. Just makes it a little bit easier. And we'll start with the hair, I think. Just give that a really quick coat. Get a dab more paint. Alright, there's the hair done. Right, first coat anyway. This will all get a second coat. Of course, getting my clean out pot. I'm going to switch brushes for the goatee. That's a little smaller. So I'm going to move down to a little finer brush. Alright, there we have it. The first coat on the head. And I kind of like the silver glasses. I don't know. We may change that when we get the rest of the thing done. But yeah, there's the first coat. I'm going to let this dry. And we'll do another coat once it's completely dry. So maybe we'll move on to the reds. Yeah. Alright. And there's quite a few things I want to do red. So we'll have some fun with that. But turn my palette around, get another little dab of X20. And we will start with this leg. I want to get rid of all that green, and I sort of want it to be red. So that's what we're going to do. First coat. Looks like crap. Probably can't even focus on it, but that's alright. It'll look better. Next, what else was going to be red? Oh yeah, I want to do the center of the chest here in red. We'll do that. Move this out of the way. Alright. There's a tiny little blob right there. Let me get my smaller brush. See if I can do that without making a horrible mess. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to go off and do this to all the other colors, just give it a first coat. When that's done, we'll come back, take a look at it, see what needs a second coat, see what needs, whatever it needs. So yeah, I'm going to go do that. We'll be right back. Alright everybody, while we're waiting for that first coat to dry, I thought we would get into the file card. To do that, I use a program called Gimp. It's basically a, like a photo editor, whatever, but it's a piece of free software. So, and I have a template. Let's see. I have a template that I've been using for a while. And how I got this was I scanned in an original file card and just sort of used that as a guide to make this template. So what this consists of is basically the file card itself and the picture, right? Which we're not going to need the picture because we're going to put in Sidewinder's picture when it's time. So, I have this template, right? Basically what I want to get to is this, right? All the text gone, which I've already done, but I'm going to show you how we got there. I'm going to get a new layer with transparency. Hit OK, and I want to put that over top of the file card, right? Get my rectangle mask, and basically I'm just masking the words that I want to get rid of. For the color, I just usually select you know, the color from the file card. And fill with foreground. Right, so that's gone. Same thing here. Gotta round these corners, and that might be alright. We're gonna have to work on that 9 a little bit. It's kind of hanging over, but that's alright. There we go. And let's see. See right here, we've got a little 9 hanging out. So we'll go to pencil. Switch our foreground color, size 1. There we go. Right? Well, we could. Right. Just like that. And take this back to 200. Looks good. All right. Oh, we forgot about this part. Rectangle. Turn off rounded corners. There we go. All right, so now we have a blank template, right, that we can fill in. Now it's just a matter of putting in all the text. And there we go. That's how we get those in. So then we just do the same thing for all the information. So I'll do that now, and when we come back, we'll have all this done. And or well, you know, before I go, show you how we get this here. I've got a, let me see if I can find it. I've got a Cobra logo. Alright everybody, so there we go. There's the Sidewinder file card. You know, the picture is blank, of course, because we got to finish the figure, but once he's all done, I'll take a picture and just pop that in there. So yep, that's pretty much how I do it. I start with that template and just, you know, rewrite everything. So alright, let's head back over to the bench. Alright everybody, here's our file card, all printed out. I did add the image, and you'll notice also I changed the background to be peach. The reason for that, since I changed the format up here to be sort of earlier file card format, I thought it should have a peach background. So all the same stuff that we did in Gimp, I just changed the background to peach. So printed that out just on a color printer, and what I have here is it's actually matting for like picture frames, right? It's got a red back, so that'll sort of match, you know, G.I. Joe mail-in file cards. They all had a red back, and some driver cards also had red backs. But yeah, so it's got a red back, but it's very matte, right? But I did a little test, and this is a strip that I just cut off, and this end is matte, right? It's original. And this end, which I don't know if it's going to show up, but I just sprayed it, hit it with a little bit of gloss, and it sort of has a sheen to it now, which looks more like, you know, the file cards. So that's what we're going to do. To glue this thing down, make sure it's good and clean. To glue this thing down, we're just going to use some glue stick, right? Nothing fancy, just regular old glue stick. And basically what I'm going to do is take the glue stick and just go all around where the file card is, right? Kind of liberally add the glue stick, and I'm leaving a border about, I don't know, an inch around the file card so that, you know, it glues down beyond the edges. But yep, just like that, a little bit of glue stick all over. And then we are going to make sure it's good and clean. Then we are going to stick it right down, right? Just like that. And there we go. Good and stuck. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to put it under something heavy and leave it for a couple hours. Let it set up good. And then it'll just be a matter of cutting out, you know, the square, right? And all I'm going to use for that is I've got my razor knife, and I'll use a straight edge just to make sure I cut it nice and even. But yeah, that's how we'll have the file card, and then when that's all done, we'll have a nice red back file card for our driver. So I'm gonna let this dry, and we will be right back. All right, everybody, here's Sidewinder all ready to go. File cards cut out and good to go. I know I said I was going to come back for the second coats, but honestly the only color that really needed a second coat were the reds. Everything else covered really well, so it's just a matter of kind of touching up, you know, here and there, and yeah, he was good to go. Once the colors were dry, he got a light coat of just gloss coat. That's just to kind of seal everything in, protect the paint. But yeah, pretty happy with how Sidewinder came out. And the color scheme, I'm really liking too. It kind of reminds me of like the Night Raven, you know, the 86 Night Raven. And I think that's the palette I'm going to use for the Shock and Awe. I think the black and gray and splashes of red, I think that'll look nice on the Shock and Awe. So, all right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one. We'll start painting up the Shock and Awe. We'll get the primer done. We'll get the base coat started, hopefully. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed this custom driver. He was a lot of fun to create. So, until the next episode, bye-bye.
I'll never learn to ski, especially if you quit trying.
Scarlet!
You'll never win if you give in.
but I just can't do it.
Can you ride a bike?
Well, sure I can.
But could you at first?
No, I had to practice for weeks. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
That's because you hung in there.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!